PraDa Law Live, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. I hope you've had a great start to your week so far. We're here to make it better with a bunch of information. Today we're going to be talking about some loan modifications. We're going to be talking a little bit of bankruptcy. I love this day actually. This is our Dream Team Day, and today we have a special guest joining us, Oscar Chavez.
Thank you, and hello to everybody at home.
And of course, our partner, Alexis Garcia.
Thank you, Jackie. Hello, panel, and hello, everybody here with us today.
And of course, Jennifer Pratt.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you this is a live show. There's a number on the screen. It's 888-88-LEGAL. That's the number you want to call for your free consultation because the call is free. We have a bunch of information for you guys today. Let's get right into it, Jennifer.
That's right, and we're ready. Happy Monday, the start of the week. We're here to battle and tackle all your financial problems. We are going to be talking to Attorney Garcia regarding bankruptcy. We're going to be listening in about loss mitigation in our office. What are some of the things we're doing in terms of loan modifications, foreclosure defense? These things are happening now, and you need to be prepared. And I want to jump right into it with you, Attorney Garcia. It sounds like we're still having some unemployment issues. I mean, again, it would think that the economy is getting better, but the numbers just still aren't there.
No, they're not. Before the show, Attorney Pratt and I were discussing, what's going on financially to see how that can play in with bankruptcy. And we were looking at some August reports we had. And despite, August, there was the closing again, and now we were getting into the reopenings, but August numbers were still very high. It was like, the 20th week, I think, where there was still over 1 million people claiming unemployment per week. That number is just astonishing. We haven't seen numbers like this. I mean, since the Great Depression back in the 30s, we refer to the 08 depression a lot, or not depression, recession, because, a lot of us are familiar with it. We saw what happened. I practiced bankruptcy as people were coming out of that. I practiced foreclosure defense during that time. So, it was a lot with, people just losing their homes, and everyone's scared that we're going back there and that we're going to get there. And the articles Attorney Pratt and I were reviewing and were discussing really got into how, this is a different type of recession than what may have happened, but it's not going to maybe snowball like the other one, but it's going to be consistent, and it's not going to go away, and it's going to remain because the virus is still looming. This isn't something that was caused by the real estate market like the last one. That was directly caused by the lending and the mortgages and everything, Goldman Sachs and all those companies, the things that they did. This is caused by something that we still don't understand. We still don't know. Governments still aren't reacting properly, or they are, or people don't like how they're acting. Politics aside, nobody knows what's happening, and nobody really knows the right route to take. And depending on who you speak with, it's something different should or can occur. So with that uncertainty, then you have a lot of issues with employment and going back to work and feeling safe.
Yeah, I know that, my boyfriend is a chef, and he's an executive chef. He's been trying to hire new employees, line cooks, and it's just nobody really wants to come to work. Everybody's, and he's down like maybe 2 line cooks. He has interviews, people that apply, and then he basically gives them a call. They don't pick up the phone. And why is that? Because they're still collecting their unemployment checks. They'd rather stay home as opposed to go into work, make probably less money, have to put in the work when they can just sit at home and collect an unemployment check. So
that's true.
We're living some difficult and uncertain times, like Attorney Garcia said. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a number on that screen. If you have any of these issues or any of these challenges, give us a call, 888-88-LEGAL. You may have a case, and we may be able to help you.
And, talking about uncertainty, I certainly am not here to be a fearmonger or to scare anyone or anything like that. But the reality is that some of the reports I've been reading as well is that, and I know we talked about this, I want to say either last week or a couple of weeks ago, is that the winter is coming, right? Storm is coming. And what a lot of reports are saying is that if we thought COVID was bad, in the spring and during the summer, wait till the winter time when we now have we have a typical flu season as is. And so what they're saying is, I've got a relative that lives in Spain, who lives in a small town in Spain. It's called Malaga. And they were saying already, they're very interconnected with a lot of the politicians there, that they are getting ready to shut down Spain again sooner than later. And because this is an international crisis, it doesn't just affect the United States. All these countries start closing down again, it affects everybody.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely been some restaurants actually closing already in Spain. I happen to know that because, again, my boyfriend is in the restaurant business. So yeah, I mean, winter is coming, and we do have to face these issues.
And when these companies start closing, that's people that lose their jobs, businesses that start going out again, and then it's like, okay, we're reopening right now. We started last week with the restaurants, and then now what? Again, we are going to be closing in a month or two once winter hits.
Right, and you know the problem is too. Last year's flu season was terrible. I have kids in school. It was more than half the class was out with the flu. So now if we're coupling whatever strand of flu comes along this year with COVID, it's just going to be a lot to handle. And to touch upon the point, you know, Jackie made when discussing the interviewee her boyfriend had, a lot of though this unemployment is running out now though. For example, I do, you know, bankruptcy, and I'm reviewing my clients' bank statements, and you see the unemployment now has either been drastically reduced in some areas or cut. So now you're going to see what's going to happen. Maybe now these people are going to be coming looking for jobs, but now there's not going to be as many jobs. So there's so many little intricacies here that can come into play that it's really an uncertain time.
That's right, Attorney Garcia. Well, hopefully we make it, right? Hopefully we make it out alive. There's a number on the screen, 888-888-legal. Give us a call. We want to hear from you.
Jackie done killed us today. I mean, but talking about killing, and I mean, all jokes aside, but not really, how's that virtual schooling going, Dr. Attorney Garcia?
You know, well, my daughter in 4th grade is a saint, and she does everything on her own. My 2nd grader has a little more trouble with it. But, you know, handling it as best we can. You know, the teachers, thank God for teachers. You know, they're doing so great. It's just a very tough situation all around.
I can't imagine. My heart goes out to all the parents out there right now, all the families that are enduring this, and most importantly to the kids. I feel so bad for the kids. And this is why, you know, a lot of Attorney Garcia and even Oscar today, we were reading it. It has to do with we've got to get control of this virus. And once we get control of this virus, hopefully our economy can start, you know, reshaping itself. And I feel like this is literally a roller coaster ride. Like we've had our ups, we've had our downs, and right now looks like we're going back on an up, even though there's still some negative news in the background. But if all these reports about, you know, literally winter is coming are true, it's very scary, and now's the time to be prepared.
That's right. Well, we do have to take a short break. We'll be right back, though. Once again, 888-88-LEGAL. The call is free. Consultation is free. We'll be right back after this break.
I know you're home right now asking yourself, how? How will I pay my rent, my mortgage, my bills, my credit card debt? I'm attorney Alexis Garcia with PraDa Law. I've personally helped people with financial problems over the last 10 years. I understand what you are going through. We saw people lose it all in the 2008 financial crisis. You don't have to lose it all. The consultation is free. Call us now. I will help protect what you have built. You have nothing to lose by calling us. Call us now. These are trying times. This deadly virus is affecting our health, economy, jobs, our small business owners. Bankruptcy protection may be able to save assets and immediately stop your creditors from harassing you. Small business owners, employees of business of any size, we know you need help. Call us now. We will help you get back on your feet. Don't wait until it's too late. This is the time to call.
Sé que estás en la casa ahora mismo preguntándote, ¿cómo? ¿Cómo voy a pagar la hipoteca, la renta, los biles, las tarjetas de crédito? Soy la abogada Jennifer Pratt con PraDa Law. Yo personalmente he ayudado a las personas con problemas financieros durante los últimos 10 años. Yo entiendo por lo que estás pasando. Vimos cómo la gente lo perdió todo durante la crisis financiera del 2008. No tienes que perderlo todo. Llama ahora. La consulta es gratis. Te ayudaremos a proteger todo lo que has construido durante todos estos años. Sabemos que estos son tiempos difíciles. Este virus mortal está amenazando nuestra salud, nuestra economía, nuestros empleos y a los propietarios de nuestras pequeñas empresas. La consulta es gratis. Llame ahora. Te ayudaremos a recuperarte. No esperes hasta que sea demasiado tarde. Llame ya.
And welcome back on this Monday to PraDa Law Live, ladies and gentlemen. We're really, really happy that you guys have stayed tuned. That number on the screen is there for you. It's 888-88-LEGAL. And I do have a question for Mr. Chavez. I want to know, what is it, I mean, because everybody's saying, oh, winter's coming, winter's coming. So what is it that you guys are doing to prepare?
Well, yes, winter is coming, as we have been mentioning, and we don't know when these tough times are going to end. We don't know. We're not finding an end to it yet. But there's plenty of ways to prepare for your finances and to be careful and to be prepared, like we said, for when winter does come. If you're running behind on your finances and your forbearances, you're behind on your forbearance and anything with your home or your finances, there's ways to prepare yourself, such as loan modification. Contact your lenders, your banks, your financial institution, whoever is helping you out with these payments, and see what they need from you. Most of the time, they're going to ask for your financial documents. They're going to ask for your bank statements, to review everything that you have in your pockets, and to know that you're financially stable in order to protect the modifications. And they'll lead you the correct way, and then if you give us a call, we could lead you more into how to prepare even better.
Exactly. I'd like to, just as Mr. Chavez was saying, with these loan modifications, your mortgage lenders, a lot of individuals are calling them on your own. That is okay, but you need to be careful. You need to watch out for these banks. They're your bank, they've lent you money, they hold your mortgage, but they don't represent your interest. They have an opposing interest because they have an interest in the home. That mortgage they have gives them almost as right to the home as you have by being on that title. So you need to be careful because they're looking out for themselves, not for you. So you're gonna hear, don't worry, you don't have to pay yet. But as Mr. Chavez said, you need to see, okay, what documents do you need? You need to call an attorney. Someone like us, we can help put together a package for you. We can help present a loan modification in a proper way that you can combat this forbearance, because what we're seeing and what this is coming down to is not all of these banks are allowing you to just, start paying again from scratch and rolling everything to the end. You have large sums of money due now to bring you current.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much, Attorney Garcia. Once again, that number on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL. Give us a call. The consultation is free.
And Oscar Chavez is a great asset here to our law firm. But I think, like most young aspiring attorneys, he sees the good in everyone. And I know he's pending to pass the bar, and we're all rooting for him.
That's right.
But take it from Attorney Garcia and take it from myself. These banks are not your friends, and they may appear that they want to help you. They may appear that they have your interest, but like Attorney Garcia says, they have an invested interest too. And I think one of the things that's interesting, Attorney Garcia, when we compare, for example, the 2008 crisis versus this one, is that a lot of the homes right now, even at the highest point, worst point of COVID, the prices, the values of the homes have not necessarily gone down.
Oh yeah, no, the values aren't dropping yet. So the crisis we saw back in 08 was not only the values were dropping, but a lot of individuals had these loans, which we called interest-only loans or negative ARM loans. What was that? Well, what that meant was, in order to qualify individuals for a loan, they were initially at closing given a very low number, but they weren't explained that that was interest only. And in 5 years or in 10 years, you had to start paying principal and interest. And once that happened, their prices tripled. So when that came, everyone started to falling behind and they couldn't get current. So that's where this came in. Right here, some people are still lingering with those types of loans, or the 80-20s we always discuss. But it's very different because this is not a crisis due to these mortgage-backed guarantees. This has to do with something that we don't even understand. So people are still buying homes. And if you look, there's been a trend moving from cities out to the suburbs, right? And it's really hard now to get an offer in on a home in the suburbs because people don't want to be in these buildings because of COVID, and everybody's scared to be so close together.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
I can imagine. Well, thank you so much, Attorney Garcia. And I just want to remind one more time, 888-88-LEGAL. That is the number that you need to call.
That's right. And not only that, we also saw, for example, people had the variable interest rates. Right. They had all sorts of different, deals with their mortgages
interest only too.
And that's
crazy.
just asinine. Yeah. But it's the reality, and it's how a lot of people were able to buy homes. And for those of you that were able to keep your home, great. But I think the big difference, why that big difference is going to possibly make a difference this time around, is that I feel like in 2008, yes, the banks were taking people's homes, they were foreclosing, but it was a little bit of a hot potato too. Like, you take the house, well, we don't really want the house. It wasn't worth anything.
Nobody knew what was going on either then.
But now, if I go to foreclose on your home, and let's say you owe $250,000, but it's worth $500,000 or even $400,000, it might be worth taking. I may be much more, what I'm noticing as well is that in these foreclosures that have been filed, the lenders are being a tad bit more aggressive in trying to get to a final judgment. And if you're not already in the loan modification process or working on getting on that loan modification process immediately, it's just a matter of time, you know, that we have these rocket dockets again, and you may lose your home.
That's true. Well, we do have to go on a break, so I want to just go ahead and let you guys know 888-88-LEGAL, that's the number you want to call. Consultation is free. Once again, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We have more coming from Oscar Chavez. He'll be tuning in a little bit more now. Thank you so much, and stay tuned.
Home right now, asking yourself how will I pay my rent, my mortgage, my bills, my credit card debt? I'm attorney Alexis Garcia with PraDa Law. I've personally helped people with financial problems over the last 10 years. I understand what you are going through. We saw people lose it all in the 2008 financial crisis. You don't have to lose it all. The consultation is free. Call us now. I will help protect what you have built. You have nothing to lose by calling us. Call us now. These are trying times. This deadly virus is affecting our health, economy, jobs, our small business owners. Bankruptcy protection may be able to save assets and immediately stop your creditors from harassing you. Small business owners, employees of business of any size, we know you need help. Call us now. We will help you get back on your feet. Don't wait until it's too late. This is the time to call.
Sé que estás en la casa ahora mismo preguntándote, ¿cómo? ¿Cómo voy a pagar la hipoteca, la renta, los biles, las tarjetas de crédito? Soy la abogada Jennifer Pratt con PraDa Law. Yo personalmente he ayudado a las personas con problemas financieros durante los últimos 10 años. Yo entiendo por lo que estás pasando. Vimos cómo la gente lo perdió todo durante la crisis financiera de 2008. No tienes que perderlo todo. Llama ahora. La consulta es gratis. Te ayudaremos a proteger todo lo que has construido durante todos estos años. Sabemos que estos son tiempos difíciles. Este virus mortal está amenazando nuestra salud, nuestra economía, nuestros empleos y a los propietarios de nuestras pequeñas empresas. La consulta es gratis. Llame ahora. Te ayudaremos a recuperarte. No esperes hasta que sea demasiado tarde. Llame ya.
And welcome back to PraDa Law Live. Once again, I'm Jackie Mendez. I've been hosting the show today. It's been a very informative show. The number on the screen is 888-88-LEGAL. That's the number you want to call for your free consultation. We've been talking loan modifications, foreclosures, bankruptcies, and what that looks like and feels like today in the day of COVID. And well, winter's coming, so how are we preparing?
That's right, Jackie. Can I say that you have like an artist name, like Jackie Mendez?
Well, I am an artist.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm a musician.
I love the name. Like I could see it, like Jackie Mendez.
Thank you.
Coming through.
You can find me on Spotify and iTunes.
Well, a shameless plug. I love it. But yes, winter is coming, and we want to be we want to be the most prepared that we can. And in talking with Attorney Garcia and Mr. Chavez, tell us a little bit about what the loss mitigation bankruptcy department at PraDa Law is doing. What are some of the cases that are coming in? What are some of the things that are happening? Obviously, every case is different, but perhaps you can relate. You can say, hey, I know someone in that situation, or you yourself may be in some of these situations, and you can hear some of the outcomes that our very talented group of individuals have accomplished for some of our clients.
Okay, well, for example, I'll let Oscar, Mr. Chavez, go a little more into the details, but we had a client who came in for a bankruptcy, actually Chapter 7 liquidation of his business. After reviewing documents and discussing a little more in depth with him, we took a different approach. Why don't you explain to Mr. Chavez?
You mean you didn't just file it? You don't just sign the client up and sign and file the BK?
When you come into our
look
office,
at things?
Yes, when you come into our office, the due diligence that's going to be performed, we're going to look at your case as a trustee would. That's the way I review a case. How would a trustee look at your case?
So hold on, that's how Alexis Garcia does it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's how all bankruptcy attorneys do it.
No, and some bankruptcy attorneys, when you go to certain firms, you won't even see the attorney, and they just have whoever looking at your documents here. I will go over everything. Everything's gone over 3 or 4 times. Oscar reviews things. I review things. You meet with the attorney. I mean, we're going to go through with a fine-tooth comb your documents to make sure whatever legal avenue we are suggesting is the best for you, because bankruptcy may not always be the best, as in this case.
Yeah, that's correct. As Attorney Garcia mentioned, the BK process began with me. I usually review everything. She'll give the second reviews, the third reviews, the fourth reviews, and she'll talk to the client.
Review the whole time.
She makes sure that all the details are, like you said, fine combed and they're to the T. She met with this client a few times, talked about his possible issues with the BK or not issues he has, and he finally agreed, and that maybe the best route would have been a debt negotiation with his financial institutions. So we went that route. He signed off on everything. He agreed to doing everything. We talked to the banks. We were able to finally reduce his debts by, I think it was 50, almost 50% of what he had.
Yeah.
Business debt?
It was a business debt, correct, and he was happy. He was tremendously happy with it, and right now he agrees and pays wholeheartedly to the process, because he was starting with a big BK, but then he went to negotiations. He didn't think it was a possibility at first, but through the meetings, through all the fine-tune combing, reviewing our docs, we got to that situation, and we were able to reduce his debts by 50%.
Thank you, Mr. Chavez. Once again, 888-88-LEGAL. If you have any of these issues, we can help with the solutions.
And so, this is an individual that came in, was gung-ho about a business bankruptcy, and after further review and further discussions with our attorney, because we actually have a bankruptcy attorney that will sit with you, that will review your documents, the decision was made that it would be best to do debt negotiation. This individual was able to now not have to file bankruptcy and is still getting away with about 50%. And of course, every case is different. But in this specific case, we were able to accomplish that for this individual. And, in addition to that, one of the other things that we're seeing a lot more at our office are the MMM sign-ups. These are the Chapter 13s, MMMs. And we're not talking about M&Ms.
No.
What is that? And briefly explain to us what that's about.
Okay, great. The MMM process is mortgage modification mediation. And what that does is it allows an individual, a debtor in a Chapter 13, to modify the terms of their mortgage. That's something that was born out of the '08 crisis. And it's a fantastic program because a lot of the times, I have found that despite being very diligent, sending documents to banks don't always review documents as quickly as they should. And even if they review documents and you get a response from a bank, they don't detail as to why you were approved or why you were denied. When you file a bankruptcy and you participate in this MMM program, your loan modification is brought through the bankruptcy court, it's brought through the eyes of the bankruptcy judge. So when you go through this mediation process, all of your documents, everything's put on one portal. You deal with one person at the bank who communicates on this portal with you. And if you're given a modification, you have it approved by the court, so you have the federal court approving your loan modification, because there's instances where the banks will come back and say, no, we didn't give you a modification even after someone's been paying. So this tool avoids that. Additionally, if the individual is denied, I always have a mediation and I go over every number used in the denial, because it's pretty shocking how often the banks use inaccurate information to process these denials.
We saw it in the 2008 crisis. And again, this is one of the, I think, advantages of having attorneys like Attorney Garcia and myself, because we lived through the latter end of the 2008. I was licensed in 2010. I think you were 2009.
2009.
So we were right there, right towards the end, and it lasted for another year or 2 or 3, and we saw what it did. And yes, banks all the time were using wrong income. They were saying the person made 500 when they really made 1,000. So these are all the small mistakes that can be made that, if you have an attorney who's as diligent as Attorney Garcia, we're going to catch these things. And again, every case is different, but certainly our experience is going to be very helpful in your situation.
Well, Mr. Chavez, thank you so much for joining us today. Attorney Garcia, Attorney Pratt, that's it. The show is over. I can't believe it. I know, but happy Monday. We wish you a great, great week. Attorney Pratt?
That's right. And again, if you have any issues, whether it's bankruptcy, loan modification, foreclosure defense, call us. The consultation is free. The number's on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL. Call us, 888-88-LEGAL. We'll be back. We'll see you soon.